Capture that creature and return the Illudium Q-36 explosive space modulator.
Hello, handsome.
I mean, look, this is an alien. Yeah. This is huge. I know. This is huge. I know. Is that a comic book shop? Can we go in there?
Maybe, if you're good.
Hello, and welcome to the No Faces Comic Chat. I'm your host, Bub. We're sitting here in the dark. Hey! We're here. Let us introduce my co-host. Here he is, DS Comics.
What is up? That was a killer intro. That was like I felt like I was watching Adult Swim or something. That was cool. Bunch of little segments.
Oh man, good to have you, DS. I missed you. I haven't seen you since last week, or maybe the week before. I can't remember.
No, I think it was the week before. Yeah, I'm off today, so this works out good. Of course, we're missing our other cohort, so we're gonna have to slide by tonight without the educational, encyclopedic brain of Metarog. But we'll do all right, I guess. We'll do our best.
That is true. That is true. But just so you know, that giant encyclopedia that he pretends to carry around is actually just hollowed out, and inside is a highly coveted edition of Human Fly #1.
Best Bronze Age comic ever.
Oh yeah, you can't convince him otherwise.
I do like the covers on that title, though. Look, I've read a few of those issues. It's not as bad to me as for him, but I can see why he says it's so bad. It's not good, but I think the covers are actually kind of cool. The art's it's interesting. I like reading Bronze books. Even when they suck, they're still kind of cool because they have that 70s comic camp to them. And you know I love camp. I mean, my favorite superhero movie is Batman and Robin. So I'm down for camp. The 70s cheeseball comics, I'm down. I like reading them.
Yeah, me too. It's good stuff. I really enjoy it. I think that that Roger is missing out. He's too much in love with his kung fu guys. He didn't give enough love to the real life heroes, the stuntmen.
Yeah, and I'm really saying the interior art is horrendous. It's just good, clean fun. It's not Kirby, Ditko, Alex Schomburg level art. It's just quick, easy reads. And it's mostly formulaic. It's all right. I mean, it's fun. I mean, hey, that's more fun than most of the other stuff that's around to read these days. You know what I mean? I would take that over most of the modern stuff.
Absolutely. I totally agree. And with us for the first time tonight, Ben Compton's here. Good to see you, old Benny C. Unruly Simeon's here as well. Benny said hello back to him. Then Jacob Bornowski said, hello, everyone. Unruly still there. Las Cruces. Hello from New Mexico, Las Cruces. Thank you for the full comment he left on my video earlier today. Because he's kind of been doing this, he skips about every 10 seconds or so through the video, and then he names off all the comics he saw to prove that he saw it. But you doth protest too much, sir. We know what you're doing. We got Metarog here. Greetings, Four Color fans. Look, he's got to squeeze that in there. He's not here tonight, but he's here in spirit. Let's see. Been a while. Hey, good to see you from Heroes to Icons here. A comic book worm is here as well with the fancy intro. Well, technically we had 7 of them. Hey, look at this. Unruly Simeon jiggle is up. Uh-oh. What's happened? He gets the full shebang. Thank you, sir, for all you do for us. Keeping the lights on over here. Now I get in trouble if I don't show. Magic Lasso gets mad. He's a big fan of the current Wonder Woman. So every now and then we got to do a little slam against the wall there for the current Wonder Woman. I don't think anyone's too upset about that at all. Nope. We're in agreement on that.
Yeah, she's pretty good. The new one's pretty good. Look, Linda Carter will always be my Wonder Woman because I watched that as a kid. And so it's got that nostalgic aspect to it. And she's just a little bit better looking than that Gal Gadot.
Yeah, she's running right for you there, DS.
Yeah,
she's hoping you're out of change and pants. So there you go. Yeah, I think I really don't think that there's much comparison between the two. I think they both have about similar acting ability, which is not saying too much. I think they both look good in their respective suits, but honestly, Linda Carter would look better in either suit, and Gal Gadot would be left wanting some in Linda Carter's suit. Does
Gal's probably a little closer to the actual origin, true to the origin of Wonder Woman, though, as opposed to Linda Carter. Linda Carter is not from an Amazonian island, or you know what I mean?
No.
But Gal
totally invented bonbons at some point. Yeah,
Gal totally is from there. You know, so she works better for that whole origin story.
I agree, and the accent helps with it too. I think a little more exotic.
Yeah.
All right, that's enough for Unruly. Metarog's still hanging out in the wings, and he's mad probably because he doesn't like Golden Age books or Spider-Man. So that's what he's probably that's probably what he's fussing about. All right, here we go. Everybody's sweating triple jointed in the what? Everybody's sweating and triple jointed in the comic.
I think he's talking about the Human Fly.
Oh, well, nothing wrong with that.
I grant wide artistic license for Bronze Age books.
Yeah, me too.
So, yeah,
and even more for the writing in Silver Age. I mean, come on. There's something to love about all of it, and there's something not to as well.
Yeah, Silver Age art is really good usually. It's phenomenal. Some of the best art in comics is Silver Age. Like Kirby Thor is probably my favorite Silver Age art. The early Silver Age writing is pretty lame.
Yeah.
It gets better. It does get better as the 60s go on. But the early stuff, like, I don't know, like even X-Men's not even that early. That's 64, 63. X-Men 1.
The writing doesn't get better until
I did
the
like
70s.
Yeah, right. I did like Hulk 1. Hulk 1 is probably my favorite read of the Silver Keys. I thought that was a really decent story. It's realistic. It's good. That's probably my favorite one.
That's cool.
Yeah, not really. I mean, FF1 is not great either. You know what I mean?
No, FF gets better though.
Oh,
and
yeah.
When you're looking back at the early Fantastic Four issues, they're almost like an oddity. You know, a lot like the early X-Men issues. It's like, wow, that's the origin. Like, like that seems so out there. You know, everything seems so weird. So it is fun though. Now, Unruly says Perez Wonder Woman is the best. He has spoken.
I agree with him 100%.
I know.
All the Wonder Woman ever, it's him. Yes.
I've got maybe written. Maybe if you're talking about art artistically, he's pretty low on my list.
Who, Perez?
Yeah.
No, that's the best. I mean, the original.
No.
I'm not a fan of that style of H.G. Peters.
Yeah.
H. Peters or something. That guy.
Yeah, H.G. Peters.
He's got a distinctive style, and I'm just not a fan of it. It's too like curly Q, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
He's got like a lot of like curly Qs in his art style. It's got a vintage curly Q sort of look, and I'm not a fan of that art style at all.
Yeah, it gets better though, but not by him. The guy who takes over after him, when it goes from Sensation to regular Wonder Woman, it gets better.
Yeah, I haven't really read too many.
Forget that guy's name. That's probably my favorite group. But then I also like Garcia Lopez. I like Brian Boland.
Oh, Boland's good. I've never. Yeah, Boland does some good Wonder Woman. I've only seen covers. I've never seen interior Boland Wonder Woman stuff. But
I like some of the Byrne, John Byrne Wonder Woman too.
Oh yeah, Byrne's quality.
Yeah.
Whenever I think of Byrne, though, I just think of X-Men. Really.
I know, but he's got She-Hulk runs pretty epic too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I put all those above Perez for me. Look at Roger. Oh no, don't listen to Bub. He's biased against all Perez. I think the correct term is Perezi or Perezis. Well, how would you? It's not Perez's. This is it?
I don't know. Perezi.
I don't know. Could be. Well, to be fair, I never rode in a car for 72 hours with George Perez. So all the Perez's are taking a hit on Roger's behalf. Oh, first thing in the week. That's right. I'm here to shake up the curtains, you old bats. Wake up.
Roykirk's got it. It's Perez's.
Perez's? Yeah, I'm good with that. Wait, isn't that like a roll with some meat inside and some cheese?
Yeah.
I think that is. I do like a good Perezi. The Greeks make them. All right, there we go. Yeah, I agree. And what's funny is once you dig that art on Thor, there really isn't a bad Kirby cover in that run.
No, and the interiors, look, people don't read comics anymore, me, myself included. I mean, we all have slabs, you know what I mean? But when I get raw stuff, I'll pick out some interesting ones and read them. And they don't have to be keys. I'll just pick out a random book from the stack of whatever I have and just read through them. The Thors, the Journey into Mysteries, and just the Thor run of Silver Age, you'll be reading through, and it's already cool. It's good stuff. And then all of a sudden, bam, there's like a full page or a double page Kirby spread of just insanely good art, and it just blows you away. And they're hidden throughout the Thor run where you just have to read them and come across them. And that's some of the greatest joys of comic art I've ever experienced. It's just stumbling upon like a massive 1 or 2 page spread by Kirby in a Thor book.
Yeah, I had a similar experience with I can see his face on the Nick Fury run. Shoot.
Who, Steranko?
Steranko, yes. Yeah, the covers are great, but as you're going through that book, all of a sudden there's just a huge psychedelic 2-page, sometimes 3 or 4-page spread where it's like, what the heck is going on? This is mind-blowing. Like to hide that inside of the book is, of course, it's only, like you say, hidden from us modern non-readers, but
Right. Yeah, and some of usually, look, if I have a stack of random, low value, just worthless books, but they're like, something from 1980, just some random ass book from 1980, right?
Yeah.
But if you open it up, I'll open them all up and see who's the artist on the interior. And if it's somebody that I know is good, I'll be like, ooh, I'm going to read this. And it could be just a book that's not even worth $1, but it's totally worth it because if you find the artist you like and you read through just random stuff, you will discover some really awesome stuff just that way that you will never find otherwise because nobody will ever post it. There's no like posters of it. There's nothing of it. And you just have to discover it. And there's just millions and millions and millions of panels out there to discover forever. And it's like one of the best ones I ever read was a DC Comics Presents issue of Superman versus Spectre. And man, it was one of the best comics I've ever read.
That's cool.
Yeah, Superman versus Spectre. And Spectre just destroyed Superman. One of the best comics I ever read. And it's probably, worth $1 or something. It's not even a valuable book. But it's so cool.
Yeah, part of my problem is I fall in love with books after I read them. So that makes it hard to let go of them when I know I need to make space in the cabinet, for more books. And I'm like, oh man, after I read a run, I'm like, that run was good. I want to keep it. I'm like, well, I'm going to read it again. Probably not, but I just want to keep it. I have to fight that urge. I got rid of 500 books.
Yeah. Good job.
This weekend. And to get rid of them, technically they're just in the dining room, but it's pretty close to got rid of.
Well, if you're like me, once you consider letting it go or you price it or you move it to a different section, for me, if those books become dead to me and they have to go now. Like even if somebody hits me up about a book that's not for sale and I put a price on it, and I'm like, will I sell that? Okay, maybe I will. I could see myself without that book for this much. And I tell the price, and they're like, yeah, I'll pass. I've already thought about it. It's like the seed has been planted, and from that point on, the book is now dead to me, and it has to go. And then I usually end up selling it. And that happens all the time.
Well, I'm struggling. I know that you don't keep a lot of doubles. Like that's not a thing you do. But I'm struggling with a book. I've got 2 copies of Uncanny X-Men 129. And I don't remember how I ended up with the second copy.
That's the Alpha Flight? Is that the Alpha Flight?
No.
Well, that's the Kitty Pryde one, isn't it?
That's Kitty Pryde and White Queen.
Yeah.
That's,
you don't need 2 copies of that book.
I don't think I do. And the one copy I have, the downgraded copy I have is easily worth $100. So it's hard not to throw the, I know that's shocking. In today's prices though, that book pretty much took off and never came back down. So, but yeah, so I don't know what to do with that. Like, do I sell it? It would be one of the better books I have for sale at the convention. So
yeah, sell it. Look, here's the thing: get that money and get something else you have never had, and then you still have that book, right? You just have another copy,
right?
And then if you decide you want more copies, they're easy to find. You go on eBay, you're going to pay up, but if you go look at collections off Craigslist, you'll inevitably come up with copies.
I don't live in a Craigslist friendly area, DS. There's no Craigslist.
No.
All those apps that people use, like OfferUp and all that crap, that stuff doesn't exist in my neck of the woods. There's nothing. All I have is Facebook Marketplace, and those are usually just other comic dealers who are trying to hawk dollar books and pretend that they're worth $3.
Well, I'll tell you, the X-Men, that would be what, 129 is probably like a 1981. No, probably 79 to 80-ish range. 1979, 1980. Yeah. Those are out there at thrift stores and indoor flea markets and comic conventions, and you can find low-grade, mid-grade copies. They're all over the place. If you need a reader, you'll eventually stumble upon it. And if you get a good solid copy for your PC, and then if you want readers, you just when you come across low-grade stuff that's good for reading, you just pick them up cheap.
See, and that book especially, because at one time I remember having a Marvel Legends reprint version of that book, if I recall.
Yeah, you could buy the trade of that whole series. That's
true. All right, you've almost convinced me.
Yeah, look, anything you have doubles of, you definitely don't need the other copy. If it's just to read, you can get reprints of low grade reader or like trades of it. That's just money sitting under a mattress when you have doubles or triples of something that you can use towards something you don't have. That's just my opinion on it.
I'm pulling it out. Live on camera. Bub pulls it out. There it is. And that's a low grade
run of X-Men. That whole area of X-Men is phenomenal. And yeah, you should have a reader copy and maybe like a slab 9.6 or something. But you don't need that reader copy because I guarantee that's probably like a 9 or an 8.5, right?
No.
No?
I would say this thing is a 2 or a 2.5.
Well, maybe that is your reader copy then.
Yeah, it's like a 2 or a 2.5. I want to say I paid $12 for this back in the day. And now, but shoot, man, a 3.0 is like $130 now.
Really?
Yes, this book went nuts. It never came down. It just went up when the comic, boom went up, and certain titles never really dropped down. A lot of the ASM stuff stayed at the new price floor. The X-Men stuff definitely stayed at the new price floor. It just bumped. And then, a lot of the independents fell back down, your Walking Deads and your Preachers and all, and even the Turtles, they fell a lot too. It's like, but the mainstay titles, they kept the new floor.
Well, if you can get anywhere above $50 for that copy, you should definitely sell it.
I think if I put this for $75, it would be gone the first day.
Yeah, dude, $75 for like a 2.5 of that. Yes, dude, that's like a no-brainer. Sell it.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, you'll find it. This is why I don't do want lists anymore, though. When you have a want list for the year, you're forced to get those books. You have to be impatient. You have to fill out the list. You have to prove to everyone you're working on your list and you're accomplishing something. And you have to prove it to yourself. And you have to take what comes up. You don't have the flexibility to be patient and wait. If you don't have a want list and you're just, that's on the back of your mind, if you ever run across it, you will run across it for cheap. Either at a thrift store or a convention, or some friend will be like, hey, you buy comics? I got some comics left over. You want to buy these off me? And that'll be in there. Yeah, you'll find it. But if you need a copy of that this year, it's going to be a little tougher because now you have to get it this year and you have like blinders on and you don't have any flexibility. And so, when I started getting the golden, I used to do want lists, and it was easy and fun when it was bronze, silver, copper, whatever. When you get in the golden age, you have a want list. It's eternally frustrating because sometimes a book on your want list doesn't show up the whole year.
Oh yeah,
and then it shows up in a 7.5 for 15 grand. Okay, that's not helpful either. So I just got rid of want lists, and now I'm just opportunistic. I know the books I like, and things come around, and sometimes there's a book I stop looking for and end up with 3 copies all of a sudden without even looking. And some books, they come up, never come up. So
you never really know when you're hunting golden age, especially, or anything that's relatively rare or scarce in a particular grade, at least. You never know which side of the table the desperation is on. And you always want to be on the side of the table that does not have the desperation, but has cash flow.
Right.
So I'm sitting over here. I'm ready to buy a good copy when I see a good copy, and let the desperation be on the seller side of the table. How much money does he know he needs tomorrow to pay his rent? And is this book going to get it for him? And
yeah, let me give you a perfect example, and maybe this will inspire you and others. Okay. This is a book that I bought today. I don't even have it in hand, but I'm going to show you.
Oh, now wait a minute. You don't normally do do Are you sure you want to?
Yes, because I did a deal with a close friend of mine. It's rock solid. I already know I can't jinx this. This is good to go. So instead of having a want list, I just keep a budget, and the budget gets bigger, and I don't have the money doesn't burn a hole in my pocket anymore. It's there. And I'm like, it's like Zen comic collecting. I'm like the grass. I bend with the wind and I take things as they come. So I just have a budget sitting there, and then when something comes up and I'm like, oh, is that the book? Maybe, maybe not. That means it's not. But when I see the deal, I know it. I'm like, ooh, that is the deal. That's what the money's for. And so that happened today. I have some cash, and this popped up, and I had no plans to buy anything today. But I was like, yes, this is a great copy of this book for a price that's reasonable for it, and I have the money for it, so let's do it. So you ready?
Yep.
This is going to surprise a lot of people too. You're going to be like, what? You bought that DS? That doesn't even make sense.
Is that the reprint one, or is that the original?
No, that's the original.
Oh yeah, I can see you liking that.
Hell yeah, dude! This is an awesome book.
Yeah, that's and that got a lot more fame here just recently when they did the Tech 1000 homage to it. Yeah. And all of a sudden people were like, "Oh, that's awesome!" And then other people were like, "That's an homage!" And then everybody went trying to find this book.
Yeah, so this is a 3.0 cream off white, no notes, and the issues are on the back mostly, and with that black cover on the front. I mean, this is a really good looking copy, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for a 3.0. I mean, this wasn't cheap, obviously. And I put a book into the mix to get the deal done. But yeah, I'm stoked. This was just like impulse sort of buy. And I was like, yes, that is a good deal on a marquee book. This is what the money's for. So instead of letting the money burn a hole in my pocket, this came to me sort of. So yeah, really happy.
Very cool. That looks great.
One of the very few Golden Age superhero books that I would pick up. So yeah, I'm real happy about that. So yeah,
that's fantastic. That's a win.
Build a budget, let the money sit there, and just wait for things to come to you. And the longer you wait, the more money you have, and then you'll know when the right thing comes up. And today, for me, it was that.
Zen comic collecting is taking off. That's because prices are so erratic right now. If you don't have a strong hand and you don't have any patience, then you're gonna get your lunch eaten out there.
Yeah, I mean, you're seeing it with like AF-15s. I know there's just insatiable demand for that book, but I feel like it's sort of a self-fulfilling feedback loop. The higher it goes, the more uh, impulsive and impatient people get that they have to get it now because the price is going to go up, keep going up, and then they get it and it makes the price keep going up, and then it makes more people need to get it right away because the price is going up, and it's like a feedback loop. And then you're seeing like 3.0s going for like 50 grand. It's insane.
Yeah, it really is weird. And you see the same book go up and down, back up for sale and not, which is odd because there's, and I don't mean to say this rudely about AF-15 collectors, but there's a crap ton of those. And there's a crap ton of X-Men #1s. And there's a crap ton of Hulk ones. I mean, compared to the truly scarce books out there that are never for sale, these books are always for sale. The prices are more than you want to pay, but they're always for sale. They're out there.
The AF-15, there's at least one every single week on Heritage on Sunday night.
There's one every single week in every place you could buy a comic.
Right.
You know?
And look, that is the Silver Age book. I mean, that's a massive book, obviously. There's nothing wrong with going after and owning that because that's one of the top books of all time.
Oh, yeah.
But if these people are laying out 40 grand for like 2.0s, 2.5s, okay. I mean, I don't know the future, but that seems like a lot for that grade. If you get above 4.5 on an AF-15, it starts to be pretty tough to find in grade, honestly, above 4.5. That's legit high grade.
I gotta tell you, anything below 4 looks about the same to me. When I see 1.5s and 3.5s, they have the same level of just destroyed cover to me anymore. They're all just starting to, the low grades are starting to blend together.
Yeah, well, the thing is with that book, if you're laying out, 50 grand for a comic book, 60 grand, 100 grand, whatever, I would be buying a 4.5 and up only on that book. I would be buying off-white to white or better only, and I would be buying no chipping only. Now, that's going to be a little tougher, but with that amount of money, you've got to put the copy you buy into the upper echelon of liquidity, and you need those three things. You need a nice sort of rare-ish grade, no chipping, and good paper quality. Those will cement your copy at the best investment grade possible. And if you are spending 5 or 6 digits on a book, you've got to consider down the road what it's going to be worth. That's a major investment. That's not like $1,000 book or $100 book. You can buy those for your PC, what you can afford, and it's cool. But when you're laying out 5 digits for a book, you can't just buy whatever, man. You got to really be careful about what you buy. That's what I think. I mean, it just makes sense. People want to be collectors and not investors, and that works up to a certain point. And then at a certain point, you have to consider an investment with the amount of money this stuff costs. So it's just where you put that line for yourself. But over a certain line, you just have to consider it.
Yeah, and even if it's not for yourself, for someone down the line or for whoever you may be leaving this to, as it being their problem to clean up and deal with, at some point, someone is going to have to deal with this for you. So why not have it in a presentable condition and have something that's as liquid for them as possible, knowing that they're going to have difficulty getting into a market that they know nothing about. So it has to be very apparent to everyone the value of this item, but when it changes hands, I think the more the better anyway.
Yeah, and when your book's out there, you're competing with other books for sale. And I always want to have a book that's rare enough that it will be the only copy for sale, or a good enough copy that it's better than most all of the other copies that are out there. And basically, it's not that hard. All you have to do basically for like Silver Age books is get good page quality and presentable. That's pretty much it. You don't need anything crazy. But people are laying out massive amounts of money for low grade beat up AF-15s.
And proud.
Huh?
And they're proud of it.
Yeah, I mean, they're proud because they've accomplished the goal and got a major book. So good for them. I don't begrudge them that. But for me, I wouldn't lay out that kind of money. I mean, I've never spent – this book I just showed you is the most expensive book I've ever bought.
The Witching Hour?
No, not the Witching Hour. The Tech 69 is tied for the most expensive book I ever bought.
Really?
Yeah, with ASM 2 in a 7.5. I bought an ASM.
That's gone, isn't it?
Yeah, I sold that. Yeah, ASM 2 and 7.5, ASM 3 and 7.5, and Tech 69 and 3.0. Those are the 3 most expensive books I ever bought.
Wow. That's pretty impressive, though, still. So you're saying that all the other books that that's not the most you've ever spent, though. That's just in a single book, right?
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, I've never bought a book that was more than that Tech 69 cost.
I'm just trying to figure it out because you said that. I thought you said that you also had to put in a book on it.
Oh, well, yeah, but what I paid for that book was the cash plus the value of the book.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, I mean, that's
all
real money because I could have sold that book for the cash, but instead I gave it away on this trade. So, yeah, this wasn't the most cash I've laid out, but it was the most value I've laid out.
Right, I got you now.
Okay,
yep, yeah. Makes sense.
But I gave up a big book, It wasn't like I gave up a couple crap. I gave up a legit nice Golden Age book. And
was it something that he was wanting for his PC?
Probably, yeah. I mean, it's a pretty rare book. I mean, I've had it for a while. I'll tell you, it was a Perfect Crime 23. You know that one?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was a nice book. I'll show that one too, since I won't be able to ever show it again.
Yeah, I was gonna say you might as well grab it now. Don't drop it.
No,
I was
right?
really hoping you were saying The Witching Hour was the most expensive book you ever had.
No, but I was really happy to get this because it's one of the few bronze books left on my list. I got that recently.
You had it before.
I did have it before, and I sold it because I wasn't doing bronze horror heavily, and then I wanted it back.
Right.
So this book is going bye-bye.
Oh,
yeah, I've had this for a couple of years. It's a really rare, awesome book. You can't keep everything. I'll miss it. And, I got really good value for it based on what I have into it. Yeah, I mean, it's one of the highest graded copies, and it's just a beautiful crime book, and I will miss it. But, the book I'm getting in return is a bigger book, obviously. So, I'll always be the guy that had a 6.0 Perfect Crime 23.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. What I'm getting a cool book. I'm getting rid of a cool book. So, whatever.
Yeah. Look, Roger is lying to himself that you can't keep everything. I'm pretty sure he does.
No, he's giving some stuff away. He gets rid of more stuff than he lets.
Doubles. And it's got to be an extreme off brand. And I don't know how he finds a book that isn't worthy of being kept in his collection because it's so big and sprawling,
Yeah. Yeah. So Knights, I got a little more than half, a good bit more than half of that tech is from this. And then cash to round it out. So yeah, I think it was a fair trade all around. Yeah.
I like it. Yeah. Roger's going against, I agree. Yeah. Roger's full of crap. He's not fooling anybody in this stream today. Not unless he can make his case in person, and he has abstained. Absolutely. Well, what else we got going on here? Hey, I got these cool new comic boxes. I'm really psyched about it. I'm going to do a review video. I don't know. Sometime I'll film it sometime this week. I'll do a review video of these comic boxes, and they're like, I don't want to say Tyvek, but like, I don't know. They're like, they're cloth on the outside, but they're like weatherproof cloth or whatever. Like the stuff that like the shopping bags are made of, like the reusable shopping bags. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Like the cloth ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're really hard and tight. They're almost like plasticky cloth. So I got some comic boxes that have those on the inside and outside so that they'll be more like weatherproof. That's for my sale boxes. So all those are going to go to the convention. I got a a nice little tablecloth for the table, and Jambo has built us a nice 8 foot tall, 6 foot wide, or maybe a 6 foot tall, 8 foot wide. No, it's 6 foot wide, 8 foot tall. You know, wall books, I guess, or what was it, wall rack? I don't know what you call it. So it's gonna be nice. So we're gonna have a lot of stuff to sling out at the convention and hopefully pay for our admission. That's what if it just pays for the booth.
I was gonna do I think if you can make my goal when I was gonna get a booth for Heroes Con, I was gonna split it with Kavi actually. Yeah. And then COVID happened and never had Heroes Con. But their booth was for a corner, or was it? No, not a corner booth, just a regular 6 foot section that me and him were going to split. I think it was $750 for the weekend for the whole booth.
That's not too bad for the whole weekend.
No, for Heroes Con too. Like if you split that, you're talking $375 each. So my goal would be to make profit as soon as possible into that first day to cover that, and then I can feel like I can relax and breathe easy, and then just sort of, do some deals throughout the rest of the con, feeling like I'm already broke even. But yeah, I don't like being in debt on books, and setting up a booth makes me feel like I'm in debt on books starting out. So I would want to recoup that as soon as possible, and then be even, and then just, sort of relax the rest of the way and just see what happens. That would be my goal.
My goal is to show up and have the booth pay for itself in sales, and then also whatever I buy at the convention that day to be also paid for in sales. So that'll vary based on the convention, because some conventions you go to and you don't see anything you really want, Yeah. And others you go to and you're like, oh man, how much money can I scrounge up today? So the hope is that I can, I'm going to be cash flow positive enough to go ahead and outright pay for a book, because I've seen dealers go to other dealers and try and work out deals for their books.
Yeah.
And then say, okay, I'm going to bring you this money. Hold it for me till tomorrow, and all kinds of other crap. Which is a case most dealers probably won't even do. But I don't want to be trying to work towards that book. I'm just going to buy it if it's something I want. And then that's the new amount that I need to make that weekend, Yeah. I make my entry fee. And I gotta make my whatever my purchase is for that con, because I'm probably only gonna buy like one big book or 2 or 3 books, and then so whatever that cost is, then I want that to be funded by the booth. That makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense, and you're going into it with a plan, which I like. And what kind of books are you thinking about looking at or picking up? Do you have anything in mind, or are you just gonna see what's there?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's easy. This year, I'm focusing on Golden Age and original art, so everything's pretty much in that vein. So, and I still collect the things I collect, and I have a few runs that I'm filling out, but that's not going to be expensive,
Well, I'll tell you what you can pick up. What I always see at cons, especially some of these dealers don't have like Instagram or whatever, but they have a lot of Golden Age books, and they're mostly raws on the wall, and like Harley, for instance, or Ted has a ton of Golden Age books, all raws up on his wall at any con. I don't know if he'll be there or whatever, but those kind of guys, you can find Fiction House books left and right at cons, in a variety of grades and titles, like Planet Comics, Jungle Comics, stuff like that. You can find those at cons pretty readily, and so with these Golden Age dealers. So that's something to keep an eye on. And you're working on that Planet run.
I am, but there's also the EC, Weird Science and Weird Science Fantasy. They kind of slip under the radar a little bit. So I'm hoping to pick up a few of those, because for some reason the price of Golden Age obviously has risen some the last few years, but it's kind of hasn't moved those books. And even the EC, the big EC collectors, they're mostly horror collectors, and they kind of ignore that section of the table. So I'm hoping to pick up some more of those. And then also some what's it called? Space mysteries.
Mystery in Space.
Mystery in Space, a DC title.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm trying to pick up some pre-code issues of that, and
those are cool.
Those are really cool, and they fly under the radar too because you'll see them mixed in with a box of Silver Age because it's in the same title, and most of it is Silver Age. But there's some pre-code. There's some real nice pre-code gems in there I'd like to pick up. And then also there was I want to pick up some more Flash Gordon. I'm working on the Flash Gordon Harvey run, and I'd like to finish that run. So I know it's weird because I'm like getting rid of some of my runs, but I really like Golden Age runs. I don't know why. I just feel so happy to finish a small little Golden Age run. I just want to, you know?
Yeah, no, I think those are quality books to look for. Mystery in Space, when I got back into collecting, before I was on YouTube, before I was on Instagram, when I was just doing this by myself, I was working on some various runs, and one I was working on was Mystery in Space. I had I probably had, I don't know, 20 to 25 early issues, some pre-code and some with the stamp of Mystery in Space. And it was a cool title, and I was going to work on the whole run. And this is when I was working up, and I started to have thousands of books. And I ended up selling them all probably before I even met you. But yeah, always liked that title, and it's a nice run. So yeah, you definitely can find some of those. And I don't think they're real super expensive, but they're really cool.
No. They're not. Well, they're super expensive if you try and buy them online because people look up values and they gauge by age and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, eBay prices are a little ridiculous, but at cons I've seen them affordably. So I'm going to refocus on that. And then when all things fall through, I just pick up some Harvey Dick Tracy pre-code, and that just really scratches the itch for me.
Yeah, that's good.
You know, I've got quite a collection now. I've got like 25 issues of that run. So it's nice. And I like when I'm going through my cabinet and looking through my collection that the Golden Age is really starting to become a significant portion of the collection, not just the portion that I'm dabbling in or I have one run of, you know, very hyper specialized, but instead it's a nice little peppering of Golden Age. It really starts coming through, you know?
Yeah, that's good stuff. What I like about Golden Age collecting is you always have a unique collection. If you have a Golden Age collection, however many books you have, your collection of Golden Age is unique, as opposed to, you know, if you're a ASM collector, it's still a good accomplishment and great books, but it's not necessarily unique because you were working on a run along with a million other people working on the exact same run, and there's enough books out there for people to fill out their runs. But when you're working on Golden Age stuff, you know, you'll have whatever Dick Tracy's you have and pre-code Mystery in Space, and you will not find anyone on earth with the same collection of Dick Tracy's and Mystery in Space. You will be the only one with that, you know, part of a Golden Age collection. So it makes your collection really, really unique to you when you do Golden Age. Whether it's cheap books or super massive books or whatever, but Golden Age, there's no Golden Age collector has the same collection as anybody else. Everybody's got different stuff, so it makes it very unique, and you kind of put your own little touch on your collection that nobody else has.
Yeah, I do really, and those are the parts of the collection. You know, if you're a high grade key collector, it couldn't be more speaking to your point. If you're a 9/8 key collector, you like it's going to look exactly like every other 9/8 key collectors, almost exactly, right? Because there's not even any variance in each book. Each book is going to look almost exactly the same. So it's really weird how that is. But I've definitely already reached a point where I don't covet other people's collections at all. I mean, I was just at Silver Age Dave's house. And let me tell you something. If there was ever going to be a collection to covet, right? But I was totally calm in there. It was fun to look around, and it was super exciting and enjoyable. And what just a fantastic weekend we had. But I never once, while I was in his room and collection, really felt like, oh man, I would trade my collection for this one. As much as I was able to appreciate it, I still like my collection for myself better. Now, if someone gave me his collection, I would sell a lot of it and try and recreate my own, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not as far as value goes, I'd be a fool not to trade. But there'd be a couple of books that I would have on my forever want list because I may never find them again, you know?
Oh, yeah, he's been doing it a long time, and he's got a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah. It's very impressive. And he keeps it all in good shape, too. There's that hot Dick Tracy on fire.
Yeah, that's a pretty good cover.
That thing's bananas. She's got the black eye there. It's tough. And they show you this kind of fake, like how it all happened. Here's how it happened. I guess the dog came in and pulled a chain that rung the dynamite. And then I don't know what the clock was needed for then. I don't know. It's all weird.
Final Destination cover there.
Yeah, it's rough, isn't it? Knights of Old's laying claim to that jumbo.
No, he's got dibs on it. Yeah, I just got it. And look, so this is another book that popped up on eBay, but from a dealer that I, sort of known, I guess. And so when I saw it, a couple other people had pointed it out to me actually, and they didn't pick up on it. So it was right after it was listed, maybe 20 minutes, half hour or something. I don't know. How do you value this stuff? You just sort of get an idea after a while if you think it's worth it. And for the price they had this listed at, I thought it was worth it. So I just pulled the trigger. And
I was going to say, sometimes I've done that and taken too long. Right.
That's why. So I try not to screw around anymore. So I just snagged it. And then what am I going to do with it? I don't know. Let me just get it. And it's a Lou Fine book from 1939. So, I mean, you can't go wrong with it. So I'll just pull the trigger, get it, and lock it down, and then I'll figure out down the road what to do with it. It's not like something I've ever I need to get a Jumbo 10. I like it, and it's kick-ass. But yeah, Knight saw it, and he wants dibs on it, so he can have dibs on it when I'm ready to get rid of it after I'm done enjoying it.
That's cool.
Yeah, when I show it now, I'm looking at the book instead of the screen, so I'm enjoying it as well as the viewers, I hope, are also enjoying it. And once I get tired of doing that, then maybe I'll move it, and Knights will be the guy I hit up first.
Yeah, you've got a few books earmarked for me, don't you?
Yeah, I've got posted on the back of my Planet One. That's sitting in the bank.
Is there a specific way you need to meet your demise in order for me to get that book? I just want to know.
Yeah, I've written out a list of all possible types of demise. And next to each demise is the person they should investigate for that demise. I'm not taking any chances here.
Oh, man.
Not like obscure poisoning, Mrs. DS.
Wait, it has to be obscure? So regular old like rat poison, that's too obvious? That wouldn't be her?
No, that would be it would be something fancy and challenging and difficult to detect. Yeah. And at the bottom of all the demises, at the bottom it says autopsy required under all circumstances. So, nobody's getting away with anything on me, or none of these comics are going to free to anybody else. So everybody needs to be careful. But yeah.
I think that's a solid plan. I'll see your 1.5 and I'll raise you nothing.
Hey, 1.5 for a Golden Age book is no joke. I mean, that is legit. You know what I mean?
Man, I wish I had this book before it was sent in because I could have easily raised it to a 1.8. There's some tape I could have got off. It needs a pressing. Yep. Look at that. Charles Atlas, the 97-pound weakling who became the world's most perfectly developed man. I'll prove that you, too, can be a new man. Only 15 minutes a day staring at this picture will make you the manliest man you can be. Absolutely. In leopard print. He didn't even kill the leopard first. He just stuck his arms and legs in there.
Yeah, that's a pretty old ad because that's a rivet cover. Is that number 22 or 21?
Yeah, that's 22.
Yeah, that's the last rivet.
Yeah, I love the monster on that. I like and people take this weird. I like the tentacle stuff, but I like octopus and stuff like that. And I think like as far as their ability to fight multiple fronts. So I like that because it makes the cover more dynamic. Everyone's in danger when an octopus is there. Well, at least 7 to 8 of them are. So
Yeah, that's a cool cover. I like all the rivets. I have two. I have Planet 1 and I have Planet 14. Those are like my two favorite rivets. I'm not a planet collector, but when you and I were talking at some point, I did add my Planet 1 to the registry, and I think I added my 14 to the registry. I think I'm pretty high up on the registry list.
I know, you bum. It wasn't sometime after. It was literally the same night. I was telling you, yeah, I'm on this registry hunt and I'm going to try and move up the list. And I'm like number 32. And I was like, oh, I'm 32 on the register. I'm going to crack the top 30 pretty soon. And then the next thing I know, the next morning, I'm down to 33. I'm like, what happened? And I see DS Comics up there with one book. I'm like, you son of a bitch. I got like 10 books on there. He's got one and he's got more points in the registry than me. It's a scam, I tell you, a scam.
Well, you know, all's fair in comics, because when I had a registry for Charlton's The Thing, a pre-code horror title.
Oh yeah, you had the whole run.
I had a full run. I was the only one on the registry with a full run, and I was still in like 13th place, because the next to last issue had a lot that were found in a warehouse or something. So there's a lot of like
copy kind of stuff.
Yeah, so there's a lot of like 9.0s, 9.2s, all the way up to 9.8s. There's like quite a few 9.8s even. Well, I had a 9.0 of that or something. I didn't need a 9.8. But there was guys ahead of me. I had a full run, and my run was decent. It was all like fine range too. I think my lowest grade was a number 1, and that was a 4.0. I had a lot of 6.0s and 6.5s and 7.0s. I even had an 8.5 in there somewhere. Full run. And then more than one, like 3 or 4 guys ahead of me only had one book, and it was number 16 in a 9.8. That was the only one they had, and they were ahead of me, and I had a full run. And it wasn't like I had a beater for 16. I had like a 9 point something, and they only had one book, but it's heavily weighted on the grade, so that 9.8 was worth however many points that overshadowed the entire full run I had. And that just got me discouraged from the registry. And I'm like, I'm never going to do the registry again. But then when you were talking about it, I was like, maybe I can pull the old switcheroo on these collectors, and I'll do to them what was done to me.
Only you did it to me, you bum.
I jumped ahead of a lot of people just with a Planet 1 only.
Yeah.
I think when I added the 14, I don't think I even moved up. I might have moved up one spot, but yeah, it only takes one book in a nice grade, and then you can jump everybody on the registry who's got like long runs. It's not really fair.
No, it's not. I don't think it's accurate. I don't think it should be that way.
I think it should. You can get points for the grades. That's fine. But anybody who enters a full run of something should get like a bonus 10,000 points or something.
I think you should get a bump per book you add as you increase towards a complete run. So let's say it's 100. It was talk easy math, right? 100 books in the run. That when you add your 20th book, then you should get maybe a 5% point bump because you've increased that much of the run. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes
much
sense.
Closer. Something.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with that. I was the only one that I've ever even known that had a full run of that title. It's kind of a tough title to put together. And it's, not the most popular title, but pretty tough. Charlton Precode's not like there's a lot of them around. And it's quite an accomplishment. That was my first major Golden Age accomplishment. And on the registry, it was worth squat, basically. So really not fair at all. And honestly, I don't know if you really want to get fair about this. I don't think you should even be allowed to enter your stuff on a registry unless you have at least 10% of whatever the category is.
Well, I think you should be allowed to build.
It's not a run.
Well, I guess that's true, but I have no problem. Why don't we just say that unless you have, say, 10% of whatever that run is, then it's not a run. So maybe you should have to have an entry level where you're maybe an honorable mention, you're on there, but you don't have a rank until you hit 10%.
Yeah, maybe like you're provisional and you don't get any points yet.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But you can add them so people know that there's more people involved, because that's just friendly competition.
Yeah, that's cool. But these people on these registries with just one book, in a high grade, and they're ahead of all these actual run collectors. It's not really
Yeah, but
fair.
no matter how many emails I've sent them about this Joker DS Comics with his 2 books on the Planet Comics Registry, they won't change the rules. I've already tried.
Well, here's the deal, Bub. I'm like 13th on that registry or something. When you get to number 14, I will remove mine from the list and you can jump up.
It's not going to be necessary because me and Mrs. DS already have a very elaborate poisoning planned. And when that's all said and done, that book's mine and I won't need your help.
All right, I'm going to add that to the demise list. Possible collusion between 2 potential demisers. I was going to be in the category.
Yeah, you could just put on there like if BUB'S Comics ever becomes 13th on the Planet Comics Registry, look for my body.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. That's going to be the worst case scenario for you because you think that book's tough to get off of me. Wait until it's hers and you have to try to get it off of her.
She tried to give it to me once already.
That's going to be a lot harder. He's not going to be giving these books away. Trust me.
You had to calm her down. Oh man, they still have a CG registry. That's so 2010. Look, we don't need your snarky comments until Thursday. We can find a channel gracious enough to host them.
Yeah, let me look while we're talking. I'm going to the registry and see where I'm at on the planet if I can even.
I haven't even looked because the biggest thing to turn me off is their look, I was reading this. Be careful of Bub's AOK bomb. Was their turnaround times got so ridiculous. I'm not sending a book into the registry and I might die before it comes back. I mean, I don't have any immediate health problems, but if anyone said, hey, can you guarantee you've got the next 18 months to live? I probably wouldn't say yes, Yep. That just seems like a bad bet.
All right, how do I find my?
Oh gosh, on a phone? I don't know because they're so small.
Set manager. Here we go. Set type. Planet Comics. All right, let's see where I'm at. Oh, I'm 10th on the list.
Yeah,
that's just ridiculous.
People sell and drop out a lot. It moves a lot. In the top 20, it's always shaking and moving constantly.
Yeah, I'm 10th on the list. And
where am I?
What's your name on here?
BUB'S Comics.
28.
I'm in 28th?
Yeah, it says 12%. You have more than that. You just don't have them all slabbed yet.
Oh, yeah, I got way more than that. I got almost 60% of the run finished.
Well, let's see. You have 280 points. The guy ahead of you has 290, so you can pass him pretty quick. Really, it doesn't even all the way up to number 19 is still under 1,000 points. And then it's
my goal is to crack the top 20. I'm not trying to get into the top 10s because I can't afford that.
Yeah, I've got
the books that have to be in such high grade,
I got 4,032 points with 2% of the run.
Wow.
The guy in first place has 78% of the run completed. Let's see what
there's no like 300% on there, or at least there used to be.
He's got everything from 1 to 21, all in like 8.0s, 8.5, 7.5. He's gonna.
So you're saying he needs this 22? Maybe I can make a trade for him somewhere.
He needs a 22. Yeah, he doesn't have a 22. No comic listed. But he's got a number 1 in 7.0, and a number 2 in 6.5, a number 3 8.5, and so on. Oh, he's got a number 6 in 1.8.
Well, there you go. Well, number 6. I mean, come on. Anything single digits, I would take a cover only. Although I bet you don't get points for that. I would say it would have to be a grade.
Yeah, probably. He's got a number 7 in a 9.6, a number 9 in a 9.6.
Golly.
And a number 18 in a 9.4. He's got a number 33 in a 9.8.
I get people trying to sell me them from time to time, especially on Instagram. Somebody will hit me up and be like, hey, I know you're trying to, people I don't even know hardly, they're like, hey, I hear you're trying to get this run, and they'll show me a book and they're like, hey, do you want this? I have this. I'm looking to trade or to sell, but they want like crazy money And I don't think they understand that the only way that I've accumulated this run is by being patient and careful.
Yeah, there's mine. Number 1. No comic, all the way down.
What did you name your set?
What did I name it?
Yeah.
I'll show you how much I'm throwing this in their face.
Oh, you stink.
I didn't even give it a name. I'm the only one on there with it says unnamed set. I'm the only one. I didn't even name it. Just throwing it in people's faces. That guy who's in number 11 right behind me. He's got 21% of the run too. No slouch. And his set name is Love It. So I'm sure he's not happy when I jumped ahead of him.
Oh yeah, with your big unnamed set.
I don't.
Roger makes a good point. Are they still doing on-site grading? I haven't heard anything about that in years.
They were at WonderCon, but I don't think they did on-site. They're just taking submissions. You could submit books to them.
Yeah, screw that. It takes just as long as everything else.
Yeah, I mean, you just don't have to ship it to them. You just drop it off to them. But then they have to transport it back. I don't know if that's any safer. So, but I'm sure they will do on-site again. I don't know if they are or not. I'm not really sending anything in to get graded right now. There's just too many issues. Oh, you want to? Here's the interesting CGC issue.
What?
All right, so this was on Comic Connect.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so this was listed as upcoming in a future auction. Right.
Uh-huh.
This is the John Burke copy. And it was a 6.5 off white to white.
What does that mean? What do you mean it's his copy?
It's from the collection of John Burke. He was a pretty renowned collector, and his collection was put up for sale a few years ago. And so he had a lot of Golden Age books, massive collection. And so it was such a significant collection that it gets a note that it's part of his collection. So this is from the collection of John Burke. But anyway, that will become relevant in a second because that book disappeared and it wasn't listed on there anymore. But then this one got listed. Instead of a 6.5, they now have a 5.5 coming up for auction. So
no longer part of the set?
Well, I don't know what happened to the 6.5. Maybe it got sold or whatever. So the 6.5 is gone. But now this 5.5 is coming up on Comic Connect. But it has notes. So I go to look at the notes from the collection of John Burke. But now there's an additional note, piece reattached to back cover with tape. So
what, he regrade it? They pulled it down, sent it back in for regrading, and then got hit with resto?
Well, here were so it was originally it had no notes, but it was the same copy. It's the John Burke copy of Punch 12 at a 6.5. So they must have sent it to CGC to get it pressed and regraded, maybe to bump it from a 6.5, which I think is dumb because you can see this 1-inch tear from the cover.
It's going to hold it back no matter what.
So I don't know why you would ever CPR a book with a 1-inch tear. If it's a 6.5, it's a 6.5. I mean, you might get a 7.0, but why would you risk it with such a big book? So here is the back corner of the 6.5. Nothing wrong. A little chip off it there, right?
Yeah.
But otherwise, looks nice. So I'm assuming they just sent it to CGC to get it cracked out and pressed.
Yeah.
But now the 5.5, this is the back corner of the 5.5.
Huh.
That piece was torn off.
Yeah, but by who? By CCS. Dun, dun, dun!
That's what I'm saying. Possibly it was in the hands of Comic Connect. Somebody cracked this thing out, and after it was cracked out, this piece got torn off, and they taped it back on. I don't know, but whoever did it really made a mistake even trying to CPR this. And I think it was CGC, and I'll tell you why. Because in order to keep that pedigree or that collection note, it would have to been sent to CGC in that holder. Because I don't think John Burke has any identifying marks on his books. So the only way you would maintain that note is if you sent the whole slab to CGC. You know, it's like a signature series book. You can't crack that out, press it yourself. You got to send it to them and let CCS do it to keep the label. So I suspect CGC took it, cracked it open, and was handling it roughly or something, and tore that corner off, and then probably talked to Vince or whatever, I don't know, client, and taped it back on. But now it's a 5.5. That's no small loss of value either, because 1 point on that book is probably like $12,000 or $13,000. So
yeah, not to mention the rarity of the census when you get over 5.0 or so.
yeah, and so here's the problem. That's just another example. In my opinion, this isn't verified. I'm just winging it here, okay? But I think that was caused by CGC because they are rushing. The volume is too much. They're overworked. They have too many books. They're going too fast, and they're making mistakes, and stuff like that happens. So I'm just not sending stuff to them right now. So I'm not saying that was them. I'm saying that's part of the reason why I'm not sending stuff to them is because I think that was them.
Right, I understand.
It's not verified. But I mean, I see stuff like this all the time. Look, there was a Weird Mysteries 5. It was the Black Cat collection. Collection of PCH books, and that was like a 6.0 or something, and that got sent off to CGC to get cracked out and pressed, and that was a pedigree copy too. And then during the pressing, they tore the cover off. It came back 4.0. Yeah, so they took a couple points off of that from pressing it. Now I know that was them too, because that was pedigree book. Yeah, so I just don't trust them to handle my books right now.
Yeah, that's no good.
Yeah, look at Roger's got some info here about John Burke. He had complete sets of Centaur, Chesler, Ultim. Yeah, so those are tough books to find, even any of them, and to have complete sets of those is impressive.
What's BUB'S set called? Which set are you referring to? I couldn't resist. Let's see. I'll pull it up here.
So I've sent an Avengers 1 in. I got tape removed and I sent it back in to get graded. That came back. I have one more book I sent off to have somebody work on, and it's going to CGC. And I have one more book here that I'm going to send in. So for this year, instead of sending my typical 150 to 200 books a year, I am only sending probably 3 books this year.
Here's the Planet Comics registry. There, look at all these great names: Marathon Planet, the Planetarium, the Planet Quest, Super G's Planets, some great stuff. Jimbo's Planets. Then you get to number 10, the only person in the top 10, unnamed set, number 142971. It's so unnamed. It's got a serial number.
Well, look, when I cracked the top 10, I figured now I have the right not to give it a name because I am one of the 10 best Planet comic collectors in the world.
Oh yeah, you can do as you please, sir.
That's right. I'm one of the premier top echelon Planet comic collectors in the world. Right there.
There are no other unnamed sets.
No, of course not. Why would you enter a registry and not name your set?
Oh, there's my set. BUB'S Comics, Brittle Beauties.
Yeah, it's nice.
Number 28. How did I do that? That's awesome. I skipped 5 spots since the last time I checked this.
Yeah, that's pretty good. 28's good, man. That's impressive.
Like that. So nothing in there. Now I go full at it, man. I got the serial number, I've got the grade, and I've got a picture for my books. And I give a description. Nice giant cover. Look at that.
All right, so is that your earliest one, 16?
Yeah.
All right, so we need to get you a 1 through 15.
And here's a 22 that I've got showing right now. And nice black Zelnerowicz cover. Could be my favorite rivet. What? Nice. Well, I only own 2, so it wasn't too stiff a competition. But yeah. So I put notes and everything. I got pictures and notes, man.
What's the 3.5?
3.5 is it's green. Number 31 looks like. Yeah, 31. And it says, and my description is, dude in the bottom left about to have a bad day. He's getting a mace to the skull right there.
Yep.
So yeah, that's about as clear. But 3-5, but they count off for green labels. For qualified, you don't get as many points. So and then 0.5, 1.5, there's a 2-0. Oh yeah, I love that book.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
And my description: Red Comet is going to save those girls in the tubes. I think I have that book handy. Yeah, here's the real thing. There you go.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's like you're looking in a mirror, man.
And then what's the latest one? You like the oldest, the highest numbered one you have?
Highest number one I have will be number 70. Not that I have, but that I have graded because I have all these. They're just not slabbed.
Yeah, I just want to see the highest one you have on the registry. Oh, yeah, that's a real good one.
There you go, number 70. Biker, great biker type alien cover. That's what I put, biker type. That's what my wife calls it. She said, it looks like a space biker.
It reminds me of a creature from Buckaroo Banzai.
Buckaroo Banzai. I don't know that that's with Peter Weller, isn't it?
Yeah. You've never seen that?
Oh, look, I've even got back page images. I didn't realize I put the backs on there too.
Oh, good. Good deal.
Look how official I am, Mr. Unnamed Registry Set.
I'm just keeping that spot warm for you. As you get closer to it, I will pull my name and let you jump up that extra
Don't
spot.
worry. I'm not getting anywhere near that one. If I can crap in the top 20, I'm happy. That'll make me happy. So,
well, if you get a 1 in any condition, that will boost you way up the list because that's a ton of points, even in a 0.5.
Yeah, that's true.
So if you just can find a 1 and maybe trade some stuff for it or whatever, that'll put you way up the list. And also, that's one of the best Golden Age books to own anyway, outside of Plan. I mean, I think that's, if you did a list of Golden Age sci-fi, that's number 1 on the list, in my opinion.
I got to say, I love that Blue Bolt that you've got with the green girl at the bottom. I can't remember the number.
Yeah, 105.
Yeah, 105. That's got to be, that's pretty high on my list. If I saw that, I'd probably have to get rid of a few things to make that happen.
Yeah, that's pretty high. If I were to rank my own personal tastes aside, if I were to rank the top 10 Golden Age sci-fi covers, that would definitely be in the top 10. That would probably be in the top 5. Planet One would be number 1. There's probably like a Lou Fine. Wonderworld 7 is probably up there in the top 5. Science 2 is probably in the top 5. I don't know if you count Daring Mystery 1, if that really counts as sci-fi. It's sort of,
I don't know. It's out of title a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Schomburg, but it is sort of sci-fi. And then LB Cole's got a lot on that list. I'd put Blue Bolt 105 right up there, man. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be right up there.
And anything, Famous Funnies, Frazetta.
Oh, Famous Funnies 213 would be in the top 10.
Yeah, Buck Rogers.
I'd put Blue Bolt 105 ahead of that.
Yeah, I would too. Anyway, look, we got to get off here. These poor people, they've wasted an hour and a half with us or so. I don't know what it's been. But what do you got coming up on your channel or any of the channels you'll be gracing there, DS?
I think we're going to do a Golden Guys show this week on Thursday.
Hey!
Yeah, Thursday night, Comic Core, 10 p.m. Eastern.
All right. I'm pretty sure that's the only show still on the Comic Core. Is that correct?
I don't know. It's the only show I do on the Comic Core.
It's the only show I watch on the Comic Core. Yeah. there you go. No, I think they have other shows. I just don't seem to catch them. I try and catch this one. And then let's see. What else you got going on? Are you doing anything on your channel?
No, I will at some point. I just haven't. No, I mean, I've got a baby on the way. I've got other stuff going on, and I just, that's not, it's on the back burner.
Yeah.
Right now. But yeah, I still have some ideas, and I need to find like a regular slot and just start doing it. But yeah, right now is not a good time for me to start something new.
Well, let me know when you get closer on the baby. We've got the missus and I want to send you something. And we don't know what size it needs to be because you need to let me know if she is, over endowed or under endowed. You know how that happens. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes the babies are born, they don't fit in anything that was purchased for them because they're giant sacks of potatoes.
Yeah, I'll keep you posted. The official due date right now is June 10th. So coming up, a couple months. Yeah, I'll keep you posted. I appreciate it.
Yeah. We've got that. We've got it ready to go.
All right, cool. Yeah.
Just need a size. So, all right, cool. Me, I got nothing coming up. I filmed like 4 videos this weekend though. I felt like Comic Mag Musings because he films, or like ETA Nick. Those are the 2 people that I know that film a ton of videos in like one day, and I think he just changes his shirt and maybe parts his hair to the other side, and and then goes. So you can track his 5 o'clock shadow in each successive video. That's about it. Then he goes live and he's got highlights in his hair. It's like, what happened? Oh, I filmed that 2 months ago. So I filmed a bunch of videos this weekend and have a bunch more to go through. I got to do a couple of product reviews, and I still have a tag video out there I need to do. I did the one for Alex, the comic order, and tagged a few people in that. Gray Man, if you're still out there, I tagged you in that. So you need to go watch that video. I know you're not keen on watching my videos, but you need to catch the last one that I put up today. I tagged you in that, and Metarog got tagged and a couple other people. So then I've got a bunch of haul videos that I filmed. And the reason for doing that was just to get my cabinet organized. So I had to get all these things filmed so that I could file them away. Hey, it's Silver Age Dave coming at you from the comic room. How's it going, Dave? Miss you, buddy. Hey, I'm about that much down to my relish that we got from I don't know, Peter's Peppered Pickles or whatever that place was. So running out of relish. Hopefully he's running out of moonshine. So we'll get this figured out. So good to see you, brother.
Yeah, good to see you stop in here, Dave. Also, I see Night Tiger looks like he just jumped in towards the end too. He's absolutely killing it on Instagram with Golden Age.
Yeah.
I just cannot get enough of it. Yeah, really, really good stuff.
Yeah, his Golden Age game has really and it's been a steady rise over the last 2 years or so. He has really ramped up his collecting. He's got his system so streamlined that he knows the book. He's ready to buy the book before it even gets posted. That's how good he is.
Yeah, but he's not. Look, he's getting all these books and he's not paying anything for them. They're like, I'm happy when I find a deal and it's like, I got this book for like $1,500. He's getting stuff like, I don't know how he's doing it, man. It's impressive. Anyway.
Yeah, he's got a system.
Yeah,
he has an actual system and he works the system.
Yeah, good stuff.
That's it. Tony Pacos. That's good stuff. Put it in some southern beans is what we're eating it in. Good stuff. All right. Oh, and I got a shirt coming his way too. All right, guys. I guess that's it. We'll catch you next time. DS, what do you want to tell the fine folks at home?
Make sure you do your homework.
That's right. Don't tell everybody to read a comic and don't apologize for the glare. And on behalf of Roger, we'll tell everybody be blessed and be back and be kind to one another. Thank you. And always, I love you all. And thank you for the, all right, be blessed, be kind, and be back. B, and B. Goodbye.